Okay, are you on the document? Yeah. Uh, this is somewhat roughly what I'll be doing today. There's no such like last year you had a RSS feeder. I haven't prepared a proper exercise. Like say you're working on one thing. I've prepared small snippets in which I'll tell you about the jQuery selectors, animations, and all that part. So yeah, starting off. Okay. Firstly, you can clone the GitHub repo, uh, the jQuery GitHub repo. Yeah, it's in the document. Just clone it first. So it has 4 exercises, and we'll do them first. Oh. Is it done? Yep. Okay, I'll just show you the basic first. Okay, jQuery is the JavaScript cross-platform JavaScript library designed to simplify the client-side scripting. So it's like you have vanilla JS, but it makes it much more easier to say have the client-side scripting control over the document, say by using jQuery. So you can either use the jQuery or the $object to get the jQuery, select the jQuery, or select the object from the DOM. To start off. What is happening? So you see the HTML document. It's very easy to include like you can just have a jQuery in your code by just pointing it to the CDN, code.jQuery, or even Google CDN. You have several providers that host the minified version of jQuery library. So you can just just have a script tag where you just pull it from you provide a link, and the other way is to download the jQuery. So you see slides, I've provided a link. You can download the jQuery, the minified JavaScript files, and then you can probably have it in a folder, a JS folder. See jQuery, you have it in the folder, and then use the script tag to point it to the jQuery file over here. So either way is good, but I prefer using the content delivery network because it's easier to read from the cache while you access it through the CDN rather than like having your own version of JavaScript like having on the server. So are we on the? All of you have cloned this repo, right? So yeah, I'll start off with. So how jQuery works is like you have the jQuery object dollar, and then you enclose the document dot ready. So basically, while your whole DOM gets loaded. So by DOM I mean the whole HTML code and the whole HTML code that's enclosed over here that gets loaded. After that, only this script runs. So this is this is the the basic starting point, and you can even use the shorthand handler. So you see dollar, and you just like enclose in and provide a function. So and then you can have your jQuery scripts going in. Oh. Okay. To start off, I'll probably first go with the Steven's lecture on JavaScript. Like he basically like there was. I'll show you how the power of jQuery and how it's different from vanilla JS. So you see. Is it going the opposite way? So this is like your normal HTML document where each element has an ID. So by going a pure vanilla JS script, you can, if you try to retrieve the element, say go here, and you go to console, you see this change is high. But this is written in pure vanilla. This is like document.get element by ID. So there's camel case and it's quite a long. Whereas if you want to do the same thing with jQuery, you can just like do dollar, get the element by ID. So you provide hash for element and sequence, and you do uh, HTML and row. Oh. Changes, yep. So see this, like jQuery can do the same stuff in very like by writing very few lines of code. So this is one advantage of using jQuery. Yeah, going back to so this is what I told you, like including the jQuery script by using the content delivery network, and then rather than using the document.get element by ID of the vanilla JS format, you can have $sequence, select the element with ID sequence too, and you manipulate the HTML over there. So this is how you do it. Okay, I'll go over. This will make more sense. Okay. Okay, so you see this. This is like the you have the DOM loaded, and then if I paste this if I paste this code one by one, you'll see the changes coming in over at uh, the this span and this span. Okay, so just wait, watch this. Oh, by the way, yeah, you can just use the Chrome ID for the JavaScript manual using. So that's one by one. So this is like a part of jQuery animation. So some of the features we are going to cover today are these by manipulating, like say you had the empty element over there, and now while your you have your mouse over this element, it changes its color. So this is also jQuery event mouse over. Then should I go there again? Yep. Then you see one second. And then when you click this, this goes away. This is fade out and fade in the other JavaScript jQuery events. Okay, I'll start first. Now go. Okay. Firstly, comparing with the normal, why are we using jQuery or vanilla JS is like, you see that if you have to get element by ID, you see the the statement is too long, whereas compared to jQuery, you can just achieve by dollar symbol, and then it selects this element, some ID. You just you give hash, you provide the ID, and you get the element object, and then you can manipulate it using the jQuery uh, event handlers. Okay, so first I'll go with the jQuery selectors and operations. Similarly, like yeah, if you you have the CSS classes, right? So rather than selecting element by class name, document.get element by class name, and then providing the class name, you can just do by dollar and enclosing dot the class name, you get the element by class. So say if a paragraph element has a class orbital, okay, and then you get the paragraph element by just providing the class name. Same for the tag if you have the tag. Okay. I'll do this. Okay. So let's start with the exercise first. Go to Java JQ exercise 1. We'll be covering the basic JS Java the jQuery functions. So firstly, make sure like either way, if you want to test out, make sure okay, you just if you want to test out, you can just like unhide these comments and like and test out, say to test out the Java the jQuery thing is working locally. But this would run that. So this is like your HTML document, and this is the CSS style. I haven't included an extra JavaScript file for this, just to make sure we are on the same page. So I just like whatever I do inside the script tag, you can have an external JavaScript file where you can write the JavaScript code over here, keep it here, and then similar way you can just like provide a link to the JavaScript file. So that's like when you have a lot of JavaScript code running, that's an easy way. But just to for illustrative purposes, I'll be starting it from here. So, yeah, the first thing is select an element that matches the element's unique ID. So, wait, okay, yeah. I'll do one thing. Just a minute. Just a minute. I don't have the question over here. Okay. What's happening over here? How do I adjust the two screens? I'm not. How do I adjust the two screens? Because I have the questions over here. Then that's the problem. Okay, that's fine. Fine now. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we are on the exercise 1. The topics we are covering is jQuery selectors and operations. So by this dollar document, we're selecting the whole DOM, and after it's ready, we run this function. So firstly, we'll try to manipulate the element, this h1 with ID hello. So yeah. I go there. You see, I selected the element, the h1 element with ID hello, and then I'm manipulating the HTML content of it. So if you had gone by normal vanilla JS way, it would have been document.get element by ID and dot inner HTML, and then you would have then changed it. So by jQuery, you just select the element with that ID, and by the then you call the HTML function, and then you change content. So you save it now, and where's my finder? Wait just a minute, please. Last. Why is it not going? Okay. So you see the I'll reload it again. Maybe this is. Okay, it's high, and then when I run this command, the content will change to hello world. So basically, it's selecting the h1 element and replacing it with hello world. So this is the first jQuery operation you can consider, manipulating the HTML contents. Second, Yep. Second is we'll add us the CSS class to change the color of this element. So I again select the same element, this with ID hello, and then I add a class green. You see, I've defined a green class which gives it a green color maybe, and yeah, should save this, and then when I run this code again, so it changes to green. You have another way to do this, maybe if you want. That's the CSS property. So you can manipulate the CSS property .css, and then when you define, sorry, color, and say green. Yeah. You go here. You see the color changes. So you can do it either way. Uh, can do it either way, like either add a class which has all the styles, like you have the custom CSS defined for it, or you can like add the CSS property, like you have different CSS properties you might have like, that you have covered, and basically yeah, that changes the selected element according to that. So next we'll move to select an element that matches the element's unique ID, and we'll make use of the append function. So what append function does is, say if you have an element, it appends something at the end of it. So say whatever, if you want to add some HTML code or something, whatever, you just append it to the current element that you have selected. So again, we'll again, so now I'm selecting the first, you see, there's a paragraph element with ID message, and it has first line, the content is first line. So what I do now is I select that element and append ID matched to that. So now when I run this code, see, you see ID match comes in. So you're appending the code to it. Say if I give it another p tag and run it again, it comes down. So either way, it's just like you have to, it depends on you how you want to, whatever you want to append. Okay, so next is select elements that match HTML tag name and process via implicit loop. So basically, while you're doing this thing, dollar ID name or maybe the class name. So you're selecting. Say if you just give a you just select the p element paragraph. It will select all the p elements, all the three p elements. Now the implicit loop says while you run any function on this, all the elements will be appended by what message you give. So if I say p dot append dot something, it will be appended to all the three p elements. Like you cannot explicitly control each element. It's implicit loop that runs and appends the element. So yeah, I'll show you an example of both implicit and explicit way. So now what I'm doing is, now I'm prepending something, tag name matched. Now when I run this code, you see all the p elements have something now before them. Tag name match coming in front of them. So each of the P element has something. Okay. Okay. Next, I'll show you the explicit thing. How explicitly you can control each element. Yeah. So I'll be now picking up by the CSS class name, using CSS class name. So this time you see, I select an element with class red, and dot each function traverses through all the elements. So if I say I had 3 elements, it would traverse through each element, and this function is say the function that operates on each of the element. So you provide a function, and this refers to the current object that you have selected. So dot red selects this P element with class red, and then by this jQuery selector you're referring to the current object, and then you append class name match to this object. Then same thing, you prepend something to it. So I'll show you it runs now. See, both the things now have prepend. Okay. Lastly, I'll just go with, and similarly you can have the chaining operation. So you can have multiple operations on the jQuery object that you have selected. So I'll be demonstrating by using before and after. So I select the the element with class red, and I put before the before element, and so this before, like this, I'll be adding this element before the second line, and similarly I'll be adding the after element after second line. So like both these, since I'm selecting objects by who have class name, which have class name red. So I'll be selecting these two P elements, and both of them will have a before and after element paragraph appended to it. So yeah, I'll just show this. So you see before and after element, like the second line, you have a before and after. Similarly, for the first line, you have a before and after, because this is like it's the whole P element, because this is nested. ID match was like nested in this. So you have before and after, before and after. Okay. I'll share one more document with you. It has all the selectors, and I prepared. Wait. Okay, so where the handlers? No, it's by the way, in the document that I shared, you can go at the end, and all the major functions like to manipulate the HTML attributes and like manipulating the CSS properties and all that. Like I told you, adding the class and removing class, toggle class .css. So you can find a list of them. And probably when you explore more, like you'll be doing exercises on Code Academy and maybe other, I'll provide you some other links. You can just like, you'll be more familiar with all these functions. And you have function, you have a description, and I think some of them also give you an example of how it works. It's much. Okay, so this was the exercise one, basically about selecting the elements and how to operate on using the basic functions on the HTML, like manipulating the HTML and adding the classes and all. So this is the first part of jQuery. I'm not too sure what's going on. So yeah, I'll cover this later once I cover the events thing. Then this will make more sense one by one. Okay. Now, secondly, I'll move on. Secondly, I'll be showing you the jQuery event handling. So, like in the first example, you've seen. I showed you how the jQuery selectors and the inbuilt functions and all this work. In the second example, I'll be showing you basically how to bind events to user actions. So basically, when you mouse over, while you the fading effect and animation effect, say on clicking and all these, like say clicking the submit button and all these. So that makes much more sense because the jQuery is like, it's really powerful in these. By writing very like minimal code, you can have efficient event handling. So yeah, I'll move to exercise 2. Again, the same thing. I've redefined the document selector. So yeah, the function, this will load once the whole DOM is ready. So yeah, if you want to see what happens if you try to manipulate the document once before it's ready, the whole DOM is loaded, you can click on this and play around with it. So that's why, like, either you enclose your whole code within once the document is ready, and then you use the handler. Yeah, or otherwise you can use the shorthand notation by just like $ and 2 brackets, and then you can have your function that manipulates on the code. Okay, so I'll go here. Here's the page. Yep. So this is currently the exercise 2. Please come to the exercise 2. I'll show you the event handling and the other stuff, and then probably you'll get a better understanding of how jQuery works. This is the current HTML content of the page. Firstly, okay, I'll insert something in the header, the heading element. You see, it's just a simple space. So set the content. I'll just get something over there. I'll come over here. As you've seen, this will make the content. You have the click me, and then we'll make this click me now respond to the event. So as you can see, the second thing I've written is bind a on-click handler to the selected element. We can make use of .click function, which is like the shorthand notation, or you can use the on function. So either way works. I'll show you both. You come over here. You see, I'm selecting the element with ID hello, and then this is like I'm binding the clicking event. So now when someone when you can click me, this function gets triggered, and the element, the current element, the HTML content changes to a hello world. And to prevent triggering the default handler, say whatever default event would have occurred, this is useful when you have this, say you have the forms, and then when you click the submit button, so it has a a default event. So to cancel out that, you can have your manual events registered, and if you return false, you cancel out those predefined events associated with that submit button. So this is just like a brief intro. I'll show you once more about that. So now you have the event handler. Okay, there's my mouse over here. Right. This is working. Okay, so you see when I click this, it changed to hello world. So I've registered and click event handler. The other way I was telling you is you can use the on handler. So .hello and then it takes two arguments. First is the event. So you say click, and then the callback function. So in this case, it should work again. I'll reload this again first, and then when you click, it changes to hello world. So it's up to you. You want to use the on handler or the click handler. The on gives you much more flexibility, and say you can just give other option is like mouse over and other functionalities. But yeah, it's up to you how you want to use. I'll show you the functionalities and then you decide. So we have prevented the default action from triggering, and then I've also in the notes I've given a special mention to that. If you're capturing the event, no. So this is just telling. So if you have some click buttons, when you click on that button, you have an event triggered. So you capture that event. You event.prevent default. This you do not get your default action. You can have your own. Say you extract the data and then manipulate it according to you. I'll show you that in the Ajax call thing, where I'll be extracting the data when you click the form button and manipulate the data to send it to the server. So yep. Again, I'll show you two more event handlers, mouse over and mouse out. So it, okay, yeah, I'll be binding the two events. Okay, I'll make it faster. So this is the mouse over event. So now when you have your mouse over the P element, you get the green class added. So automatically your content will be now green. So you can see that. I reload this. See, but since you don't have a mouse out event, so you cannot come back to what you have done. So the class changes to green, and then you cannot remove that class. So we'll add a mouse out function. So mouse out event handler. So for that, uh, you again you register a mouse out event on the P element, and then when whichever P element is you move your mouse out, you remove the class green, and then it again returns back to the original color. So going by this, I reload this. Now when you move, you have the green color. You move out, you have the normal color. You move in, you move out. You move in, you move out. So this is one thing. Ah, okay. So I've taught you two things, like the event handling and uh, the how to select the jQuery elements. So the basic three ways, like basically selecting an element by ID, by class, or by a norm, like just like the element tag. So that's the first thing. Now, apart from that, you have some you have some form related event handlers where you can directly extract, like you can directly select those input elements and the data. You can pull out the data associated with it. So I'm going to show you those, and plus the animation. So first I'll show you some animation that you, like the basic things you can do with jQuery. The third exercise is all about it. This is basically a small write-up what I'm doing. So if you have the other document, okay, I'll put it up also there. I'll add the link over here only, so you don't have to go again. I've added the link over here. You can go to this document. I've compiled everything what I am doing here. So basically, if you have any query about any exercise, you can just see what this thing is doing. So whatever selectors I've used up, you can see this. Can read up for that. Like I cannot explain everything about it due to time constraint, but you can always read up what each of the handlers and each of the selectors do. So yeah, this is the second. Now I'll be covering up the animation and the spatial effects example. Then I'll come to the Ajax part. Uh, so yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is animation and spatial effects. Again, you will have so this is the basic. These are the basic animations I'll be showing you how to show, hide, and toggle, and all these along. So this is the image we'll be using. Okay. So first thing is I'll be adding functionality to the show button. So you see show is like it's a button like input type button. So I'll be selecting that button, and then I'll be implementing the animation part using the show hand. So yeah, sorry. So you see I'm selecting a button which has an ID button show. So these are the short and you say the yeah. So these are the short and form related selectors that I was telling you about. Others being the submit text. So just to keep it simple, I just have like all button. You can have submit also. So either of them works. So you just like I select input element with type button, and then again further with the ID button and with an ID button show. And whenever this is clicked, I have a binded a function which manipulates the logo. So you see the image has an ID logo. So I select that image and it shows up. Since it's been currently showed up, I'll just do fast the hide functionality also, and then we can do that. So yeah. Again with that, again the same thing. I've registered the hide. You can on clicking you have the logo hides out. So you select the logo, and the hide function operates on it. So yep. I reload this. Hide the element goes hides and show it comes out. Same with the toggle functionality. I'll make it faster. Let's see. Right. Yeah. And now when I reload this page, I can toggle. So you see, I just registered any. I don't know where the other. You have the. I've listed on the other function. Somewhere over here. Yeah. So you see, you can do all these animations and spatial effects using these functions. So you have the hide, show, toggle, and you have the fade in, fade out. I'll be just showing this. I'll make this faster enough because it's already. Uh, okay. So again, for now, I'll show you the function, the fade in function. It takes into two parameters. One is the timing, and the func the so I go here. So you see, again, I'm selecting for the button fade in. This is like, I think it's intuitive enough. When you click is the function, you have to specify the time in milliseconds over here. So yeah, you can use this. And when I go to the hey, what happened? Wait, what's happening? Fade in, fade in. Sorry? I've given the fading. It's not going on. Wait, I'll just fix it. It's working. Okay, I'll try the fade out. Oh, sorry. I haven't faded it out. Sorry. Register the board. Sorry. Okay. Should have registered the fade out first. Okay. So again, I was telling you have this the fade in and fade out functions taken two options. The first parameter is the time, and the second is the optional, the callback function. So basically, for fade out, I have registered a callback which alerts done. So yeah, this should now work. Now when I go to this, refresh it, I can fade this out in two seconds, and you see the alert coming up, and then again in 1 second this fades in. So this is the fade in and fade out function you can use for animation. Again, fastly, I'll just show you 3 more functionalities, and then we'll move to the Ajax part. Similarly, you can like select the toggle button, and when you click, you have the fade toggle, and again the parameter goes at 3000. Should work. Yeah, I should refresh. This goes in and then comes out. So this is the fade toggle. Fastly enough. Now I'll show you the slide up and slide down functionality fast enough. Okay, so slide up. This using the leftmost corner of the browser, you see this when you register this event, the image will slide up along the left hand side of the browser. So yep. I'll show. These are two same. I'll just do it fast. Okay. Okay, so I've registered the slide down and the slide toggle functionality. In that case, you can, when you reload the page, and then you can see, okay, what's happening. Oh, okay. See, slide up, slide down, slide toggle. All the 3 functions you can use. Lastly, I'll show you the. Hey, gone crazy. Lastly, I'll show you the animate functionality. Sorry for all this inconvenience. I'm not used to that. Okay, so I've written the most of the code for the animate part. So you're selecting the element, and when the toggle flag is initially true. So now you can use the show function and the animate function. Animate function basically takes in the CSS properties and the time for which you want to animate the element. So if toggle flag, you select the element. So I'm so if the flag is true and I show the element and the animate properties are, I define the CSS properties and the second parameter goes in the time for which you want to animate. Similarly, I'll define the else function also fast enough.
So when you animate, right? You move it to the group.
Sorry? Yeah.
When you animate,
Yep.
you move it in this. You make it go to the CSS.
It's up to you if you want. Say I've defined these properties for it, so you'll see the opacity going down and all. So slide up and slide down is basically like a type of animation where you cannot specify your own custom properties. But animate is like you can have your own custom properties over there. So even like
so this is like the final state. The final state.
These are some of the animation functions that you can use. I mean, the final state like. In which
so originally is this shape and then this size.
Okay.
And then you add this animate, you make it this bigger size.
Okay. Yep.
So is that what it does?
Yep.
So it's like then the second is define how long it takes to become the other side.
Yep.
Oh,
but the time is like how much time do you want the transformation to take place actually? Oh. So you can just see now. I'll just do it. Wait, now I'll come. So you see the opacity going to 0.2. Now I had this toggle flag. So this will be turned to false, and then again when you do it, you see it will come back. So you have now all the functionalities. You can hide it, you can show it, you can toggle with it, you can fade out, fade in. These are some of the properties. Again, refer to the notes column here. I have mentioned there, so you can like have a better understanding of how the animation works. And in the notes also, you can explore more on the jQuery API by you can go to the jQuery official jQuery site and go to it. Sorry?
The first step.
Yeah.
Could you make it public?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I haven't shared it. Thanks. Yeah, I think you can just now you can go through the document and see the other. So basically, it's like more jQuery is more hands-on. You have so many functions and events. Like you can, while you explore on it, you will get more used to it. Lastly, I'll be covering the Ajax part. Ajax, similarly, you can make the Ajax call using the raw JavaScript function, the XML HTTP. I mean, you can have HTTP requests and all, but it's more convenient to use jQuery. Firstly, Ajax is like it. Sorry. Okay. So firstly, like by Ajax, you don't have to reload the document every time. You make asynchronous calls and the document gets updated asynchronously. Okay. So are you able to view now, right? Can, right? Okay. Similarly, like, yeah, when you come down to section, which is it? The event handling. I was telling you the events. Another thing I have over here is okay. These are some of the code snippets. I'll see if I get enough time now because it's already a bit late. But I'll try catching up on this also. So this is another event capture. So the hover functionality. So when you hover, you can change the function. You can say if you have a sub menu list, you can show that list, or otherwise you can hide. You can even like you can even capture the events, and you can use the event properties, the x attribute, and the y attribute, which is defined from the left and the top of the browser, and you can make it use. So basically, I think you'll be using this in the homework exercise that I'm planning to give you. You'll be using all these attributes over there. Okay. Okay, I'll complete the fourth exercise first and then probably do some. So you see the current okay, so this is the fourth exercise of Ajax. For this, I think you all need to configure. I mean, if you need to use web servers for this, because there's another. You need to have your web servers configured for PHP. What's happening here? Okay, so this is like a normal, a small PHP script I've written to get the message. So I'll show you it over here. If you have your if you have your web servers configured, just put the process.php file and the jQuery exercise4 file in the same folder so that you can use it. I'll show you it in mine. So, yep. Where is it? Where is it? Yep. So you see, Ajax is like the Ajax allows you to like send requests in the, like you can have it's like an alternative to sending like HTTP requests to server every time and then reloading. So basically, you can asynchronously just like send the data either by a GET or a POST, like whatever you want to do, and which is one of the uses. The other benefit is it's better responsiveness. So say if you have say multiple elements coming into the page, so your browser can freeze out. While with Ajax, each request is processed one at a time, and it doesn't affect the other processes on the browser. So for if you're loading say if you have a lot of images, so your browser can freeze out if it's constantly contacting the server every time and reloads again and again, rather than having the Ajax calls to asynchronously deliver after the page has loaded it. So you get one image one by one. So I'll show you this thing. So this is the HTML part. This is the basic HTML. I'll write some backend code for it. So you have the input for you can input your message over here, and what I was telling you, you can prevent the default action of an event. So basically, now when you click on submit, you'll have a default action triggered for which sends the input for submit. So for that, I'm capturing the submit selector. Then on click, I prevent the default event, and yep. So firstly, I capture the event, I prevent the default action, and then I capture the submitted message. So you see, I'm using the val function over here. I take this input element and whatever value is entered, I can extract that using the val function. Similarly, for if you want to extract any of the attributes, in the notes you can see there's an attribute function. So for a element, if you want to extract a particular attribute, say what is the current, if you have defined some class or something so you can use the attribute function given and the attribute name, and then you can get the value of that attribute. So in the similar way, you get the value of the submitted message over here by selecting the text element and getting the value. Now what I'm doing is now I'll be sending the AJAX request to my PHP script. So AJAX type, yeah. So I do. So I'm sending a post request to my process.php, which you can see is it's just like process.php just gets my post request and this echoes it back. So it's just like I'm sending a post request, then I provide the URL, the data. The data goes in the JSON format. So you have the key value pairs. So this is I send it using a message key, and basically in the process message, this post is a super global array in the PHP. So say for a key message, I get that data from my super global array, and I display it. I echo it back to my request. So where's the request? Yeah, I get back to my request. So if it's done, I get a response, which is what I've submitted, the submitted message. It depends accordingly how your server responds. You can have tons of data with in the JSON format, and then server accordingly respond. Like it's up to you how you write your PHP server. So this is like a basics functioning. Now I should do something with this response text. I'd go here. So what I do is now update this HTML, this message, this paragraph element with ID message with the current message what I've got. So your message is whatever I've written down. This is one functionality in which you can access AJAX. It's like okay, you provide the type URL data, and then have the continuous callback functions if it's done, if it fails, and the always function, which is like the default case of the switch cases. So this is one thing. Or otherwise, in other case, I'll just show you. You can have a success success tag over there, and you can associate whatever you define over here and done. This function can be associated. So you can just define it over here.
So the same as done.
Yeah, it's same as done. And another is async property, where you can just like say async false. So this turns on the, sorry. Wait. This turns on the, like you can have the asynchronous request and response model going on with the server. So you like, okay, so I'll go with this done thing. So if everything goes well, done. Otherwise, fail. For fail and for always, I'll just write something over here. Dot first. I mean, it's something, and I'll show you in my local host maybe. So I have this script running in my local host. The same thing. I'll just. Okay, so if I do something, I write my name, the server responds, and I get it back. Thank you. This is like a small model of how you can do this thing. Just to sum up all of it, I'll just show you something. So now, I think now this thing will make a better understanding if you just go through this. Hey. So yeah, you're selecting the this HTML, the attribute thing I'm telling you. So if you have an element with ID anchor, so you can update the href, the link. You can provide a URL. So yeah. So you see, this is the anchor tag with the ID anchor. So when I run this code, this should update the URL and register a mouse over, change the background and mouse out and all these functions. So you'll see I'm making a use of the selectors, the event handlers, and the basic animation of fade in and fade out. So if I just like show it again to you, you can go to console and see everything, like the the link changes on mouse over, you register an event where the background changes to red, you have the mouse out thing, and then you have this with ID disappear, which has fade out function associated with it. So when you click this, it fades out. Yep. I don't think there's something else. Another part that I'm not covering today, it's a bit of it's already 7:30. Should I cover that off? This jQuery UI is something that will take time. Something like you can do with jQuery UI. So if you go to the document I've provided you, the notes thing, I've given you a link to jQuery UI. So basically, you can refer to the jQuery UI plugins. You can like include the jQuery library, the UI library, and have things like the accordion thing that's showing you now here. Basically, you can have a progress bar and things like that. If I can refer to, I'll just show you from the. I'll just show you something. I mean, I just didn't cover these two slides. I'll just go in with the brief. You can see the event binding can be done similar way in vanilla JS and with jQuery. It's preferably not. I think it's deprecated. We even don't use this thing by registering events by using keywords and then providing the functions. The other way is maybe like these are the two ways you could have registered with vanilla JS, the events. Whereas with jQuery, you can see you can register events with like a simple event handlers like on, submit, and the basic functionality, the basic ones. And obviously, like yeah, you can all, if you want to play around, you can always manipulate with your. You can just like to test out jQuery. You can just like use your use your ID, the Chrome ID, and like have something like if I just do this in the Chrome ID, want to do something here, I guess. Yeah, you can just like play around with it. There's one more important thing I'll show you first before I forget that. Where is it? Okay, yeah, this one. Okay, I'll just show. Yeah, I can just like run over there. Sorry. You see this how jQuery wraps the object. So just I need to cover. Just a minute. I'm sorry. Okay, so yep, you can see this the first wrapper function. This console.log, so it selects this element, the div element, and then displays. So basically, what I wanted to show is how a jQuery selector like selects the DOM element, like the element, and how it's represented as an object in the browser. So this is the header, and then you can see this is the object, and with the like the length is 1, and similarly for P, it selects all the 3 P elements, the 3 paragraph elements, and then you can see it here. And the third one is not existing, so you won't see. It's something. The selector is non-existent. You won't see any object selected over here. So here you select one object. Here you select 3 objects, and here you don't have an object. These are just like the other information that goes along the Apart from this, you can have a go to this. I think. So you can like if you want to try. There's a proper tutorial on jQuery UI. So I didn't include this in basically because you can like try out much better over there. Uh, uh, this is like one of the parts I wanted to try as an homework. Play around with this jQuery UI and how it works. So the plugins is like we are covering Node.js stuff, right? We are covering Node.js, right? Because the plugins is like they're now moved into the npm registry now. So like you have to use the Node package manager for that. So I didn't want to touch it now because that's something. Okay. Yeah, if you're familiar with Node, you can just like get the Node modules, the jQuery Node modules, because they've removed it from the website. It's like quite some time, say few months, and then you can get started with this. We'll be covering Node later on in one of the mission controls. So better then you can have a better understanding of what Node and npm is and how this package manager works for this jQuery. You have the pack. So yeah, you can play around with the jQuery widgets and theme roller to try out and post in some questions. If you have some queries, you can always post in on the Slack forum, and I'll be there to answer you. I'll see if I. Apart from this, yeah, to get a better understanding of CSS selectors and the animation and other parts, you can go to this fluke out the github.io. I just like copied it from the last time. What I seriously recommend is doing this lesson once, the Code Academy lesson. If you do this once, you'll get a better understanding because it's like usually they cover almost every every selector and every event handler that will be requiring for your project mostly. So that's one thing I'll say. This is another good tutorial for you if you want to try out the learn jQuery one. And yeah, there's another try jQuery. And mostly all the websites now usually use jQuery. There's like around 80% of the websites are still use jQuery. It's only the older ones, okay, still relying on vanilla.js because it's more responsive, more fast enough, and you can like the loading time is very fast enough. So that's why everyone like is using jQuery. You can just like go through this callback functions and DOM. So there are always like, okay, vanilla.js does fast in some cases, but jQuery is like much simpler to do rather than like figuring around your long sentences and the camel cases thing and all like thing. And that's one like yeah I'd like to say for jQuery. Apart from this, you can I've provided you with two documents. So basically, whatever I've covered today, you can just like refer to this. I'll try refining this tonight and just like posting a proper version of my slides and all, so you get a better understanding. So yeah, you can have a better understanding of the DOM tree and how whatever like the elements, how to select elements and using the functions, then the explicit and the implicit thing I was talking about, and the event handling. So you have different form keys for like you can register your key events with this key handler, and the hover functionality. So possibly I don't know if I'll just. But I was wondering, like, I might give you a game like this. This is like okay. So if any one of you planning to take web development and module later on, so this was like the basic exercise for covering HTML, CSS, and jQuery. So I'll be providing you with the code for this, the basic code. What you'll have to do is play around with this event registration. Like say you see this animation. This is all done using jQuery and CSS. So if you do this, you'll get a better understanding of how the things work. So either this will be one of your homeworks I still haven't done, and before that you can like if you can do that is try using jQuery UI, play around with it, and secondly you can go to Code Academy and refresh your skills, and then possibly come back to this and like try to play around with this. So this is all using jQuery. So this is good enough, I feel like, for you to get an understanding of how jQuery works. So I haven't finished out the homework part. I'm sorry for that, but I'll be posting that by tonight. So you can like play around with this code and do this stuff. So yeah, if you the orbital is one thing, and if later on if any one of you wants to explore more on the web development and all, CS. This web dev module is being offered as CS 3226 next time, so you'll get a lot of web dev and technology skills and all that. So generally, jQuery is like the first topic over there. You can understand better with it. Any questions from your side? I'll be glad to answer. I know it was a bit long session, and I'm not used like didn't go well because I was like not familiar with this, like not getting around with the system. But any queries or any stuff from your side, maybe? I tried to cover the basic part. Yeah. Apart from that, I think you must have done the peer. There's a peer evaluation thing going on, right? The first. I mean, you have completed all your milestone one. So I think you have finalized your idea and your user stories and how you're going about it. How many of you are planning for a mobile project or a game project? So it's all of you on the web project, web-based project. It's nice. Yeah, you can always look around if you. This is like a basic. If you just want to explore more, you can start on with Node.js. I'll say that's a more powerful JavaScript framework, and you will have a tutorial later on, but that's in week 9. That's too late to start. If you want, you can catch up with that, which is useful also because you'll get to learn like more on the scripting side, say how JavaScript works, and others. If you want, I won't recommend Angular now because I don't know if they're still changing the Angular 2. So learning Angular at this point, I don't know if it's worth enough. But I'll surely recommend if you want to go with this one framework, I think you can just go with Node or maybe Meteor, like what Benjamin covered last time around. It was quite powerful.
Sorry, so it means you don't really recommend
Angular. The problem is the Angular 2 is coming up, right? So it's it's quite a bit of change. Even like what are the news I've followed up. It's up to you if you want. It's always a good toolkit in your stack to have Angular knowledge, but it's up to you how you want to go on. But for a powerful web application, Node and Meteor is what I'll recommend. Any queries from your side? But yeah, if you want to explore, you can like, if you want to explore more on the web dev side, I'll recommend if you can go to this 311 the module has concluded, but you'll find good slides enough to cover up the basic web dev part. So you can like revise your HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and a basic PHP and SQL. So like I think you can learn up from that. And yeah, I'll be posting off the homework soon about with this requirement. For now, I think you can just like you can just like explore more on how Ajax like because how Ajax works and how jQuery UI works, and possibly start on the Code Academy track to get a better understanding. Yep. Okay, any queries from your side then? It's okay. So, yep. I think it's okay if you don't have any queries. I'll conclude the session here. And yep, if you have any queries, just like post it on the Slack forum, and I'm there by the name. I'll just show it. By the name Chav over there. If you want to direct message me, you can directly drop me a message over there, and then I'll be happy to answer any questions about jQuery. And even if you want any help with your project and all, I'll be there to help you out with that. Yep. So I can like I haven't like if you have any questions regarding Ruby on Rails or maybe Node.js or something, you can drop me a message. I'll be able to pick up that also questions. Yep. Okay. Thank you guys for coming. And I hope this was a good session enough. I could.
Next week, if you guys want to visit Google, register yourself. Look at what Google is like.
Oh, sorry. Was it too bad? I'm like
Preparation, switching exercise.
I just made the basic ones because I felt because last time around what I was seeing is that the system was too complicated for them to grab up. So I made it from basics, and then yep, and then I made a whole document for that. So that's like a whole description of what I did.
We've been trying to add the JavaScript, right?
Okay.
Actually, I don't know if it's actually AngularJS, but I'm not sure about how our server is on Rails.
Okay.
And we're trying to add the JavaScript inside the thing, but it doesn't load.
So we want to ask if we want to use jQuery, where do we?
Yeah, so we have a jQuery
How
file.
do we include it?
So we have a jQuery script, right?
Okay.
How do we include it inside the Ruby, the Rails server? Say?
So you want to do it in the Rails server?
Okay, yeah. Why not? Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So. I've included the jQuery Rails here.
Oh, no, yeah, we haven't added it.
We don't know how to do
So
it.
we're asking like, what's the right way to add it?
Yeah, what's the right way to add it inside the gem file?
Okay. It depends, right, which gem you're including, right? So, okay, if you Google. Okay.
Is this time?
So you want to add jQuery to your. I used CoffeeScript maybe. This is like you're just starting your Rails development now.
Yes.
You're just starting your Rails
No,
development.
we started for quite a while.
Okay.
Is it we already have the Rails server on?
But we haven't added a JavaScript yet.
Yeah.
Add it over here, right? So you have this assets folder, right?
Yeah.
We went back to the home directory.
Oh. You're working in
Projects.
Don't
Under the home directory. Projects. No.
Oh, sorry. I lost the track of my Hangout. Just a minute. I should close that Hangout first because I'm not sure wait.